Approximately 2 years ago, one of my best friends and I, we sat down, we sat in the car, and we just wrote the vision for our lives. As the Word of God says, write the vision, make it plain, so them that see it may run with it, and it'll come at an appointed time. So we decided to write our vision in the car. We decided we wanted X, Y, and Z. We're waiting for Boaz. We're getting our new apartments, our new positions, new careers, and we prayed about it and we said to God we wanted to go on vacation. After we wrote the vision, things started to manifest, right? This is approximately 2 years ago. So my best friend, everything was manifesting for her like ASAP, like right after, one after the other. God was making it happen. And that was so encouraging for me because it just showed me that, you write the vision, you tell God what you desire, and if it's in His plan, it'll definitely happen just like that. So we went on vacation, which was actually on our list in the vision. We were able to go to DR and have God. We didn't have passports. We didn't have the money for everything, but God supplied it out of nowhere, paid for the trip, brought passports, went on a shopping spree, and paid for flights and hotel in 1 month. That's nothing but God. So after that happened, a whole bunch of things started manifesting for her, like after that, right back to each other, right? So I prayed to God and I was like, Lord, I'm looking for a new position. I'm really desiring to be doing something in my career that I actually love. Something that I love going to work for, not something that I dread. And over the past 2 years, I've been looking for a new position, and I've been applying to jobs that are great pay, and God would allow me to get through the interview process. I would get to the first interview. We love you, come back for a second interview. Go to the second interview. They tell me, you're awesome, come back for the third interview. Go to the third interview, and I would not get the job. I don't understand. They would make it seem as though they loved me, that I was going to get the job, but then I would never get the job. And this happened over the course of 2 years, multiple interviews, interview after interview for positions that I liked because of the pay, but it really wasn't who I am as a person. And it's so crazy because people would always tell me, oh my gosh, you do makeup so great, you should be a makeup artist. But I never really took it into consideration because I never thought that I was good enough. So it's so crazy. I mustered up enough courage. I was like, what could what could possibly go wrong? So I was looking online and I saw some interviews for a beauty advisor. So I went into this company and I didn't even know that MAC was one of their holders that they actually had. And I got offered an interview for MAC Cosmetics. So I'm like, oh my gosh, MAC, of course I would love to interview for MAC. So I interviewed for MAC and the interview went great. The lady was awesome, it went great, and she wanted me to come in for a second interview. I did the makeup demo, which was extremely nerve-wracking, guys. Extremely nerve-wracking. I was so scared. I was so scared. I'm doing the makeup. He gives you 30, he gave me 25 minutes to do whatever the customer wanted. We spoke, me and the customer spoke. I didn't have to bring a model. They had a model there already. So I'm speaking to the customer. I'm like, so what exactly are you looking for today? And she's like, I want X, Y, and Z. And they give you about 5 minutes to go pull your products. I'm inside of this MAC store that I've never been in. I don't even I've never been in there. I don't even really use MAC products like that. You guys know I'm a bargain girl. I know about their lipsticks, that's about it. I like to use bargain, affordable makeup, not really expensive stuff. So I'm doing her makeup. All I know is I went on YouTube before my interview and I kind of gave myself a research and a preface of everything that I should expect to happen. So I kind of knew what was going to happen, but actually doing it is totally different from looking on YouTube and preparing yourself for the interview. So I'm trying to pull products and I'm just I'm using this stuff for the first time. Their brushes feel so foreign in my hands. I was just I felt like I've never done makeup ever in my life. That's how nervous I was. I didn't even know where to start. He's like, okay, let me know when you're ready. And he's recording it with his iPad the entire time. And I'm just like, oh my God, all I could think of was remembering that you want to constantly talk to the client, constantly tell the client what you're using on them and what this does and what this does to your face and how that works. That's all I remember doing, and I was so nervous. I dropped a few like brushes while I was picking up stuff, you know, trying to like do the makeup. I was so nervous, guys. I thought, yeah, I look like I don't know anything about makeup. Little do they know, I mean, I do know a lot about makeup, but being under that much pressure, it was so nerve-wracking. So then at the end, he takes a picture. He's like, okay, and what made you decide to go with this, and what made you decide to go with that? And he was like, okay, so we're gonna call you if you're wanted. So after that, I was told from my from the advisor, you know, MAC decided that they're going to continue their search. So I continued my search as well, and I went on another interview for Lancome. I really wasn't interested in Lancome. I really want to work with MAC. And it's so funny because after I did my interview with Lancome, MAC decided that they actually wanted me. So MAC, my advisor, she was basically like, you know, MAC and Lancome both wanted you, but I told them that you would feel more comfortable going with MAC. When I got the phone call, I could not stop crying because number one, I've been searching for a position for over 2 years, and God just basically, I learned how to trust God so strongly over those 2 years, because it's like God is not going to give you a position that you don't desire. He's not going to give you what your heart really doesn't desire. And I learned that, and I learned it the hard way, because for so long I felt like God really forgot about me. I felt like my prayers were going unheard. I felt like he just didn't care. And I was just like, wow, God, you're serious? So I didn't know. I was just blown away. I couldn't stop crying because the way it happened was just so... It couldn't have been done by Naisha. You know what I'm saying? When something's done by God, you know it's done by God, because it makes no sense whatsoever. If it's done by you, then you'll know it's done by you. If it's done by God, it will just line up so amazingly. It makes no sense. So I got offered a full-time position to be a MAC makeup artist, and I got full benefits. I can't even describe the benefits that come with the job. It makes no sense. The thing that really blew my mind was you don't get offered a full-time position into MAC Cosmetics without any schooling or professional experience on the norm. Like, normally you don't get offered a full-time position without, you know, some form of a professional background in like being taught makeup. And I've never been taught makeup. I taught myself how to do makeup, and you know, I did it myself, and I got a full-time position. Normally they offer you freelance, which is we call you when we need you. And I was just like, Jesus, seriously, God? You did this for me, God? Like, the desire of my heart, my passion, the very thing that makes me happy, you telling me that I'm going to be getting paid, and I'm going to be getting paid great money doing this? I was blown away. Like, I couldn't stop crying. And I just had to share it with you guys because I just want you to be encouraged, because a lot of times we feel like God is not thinking about us, that he doesn't care about us, that he's, you know, focused on, you look at other people and the people, your peers or whatever the case may be, that are just like, you know, they're going out clubbing, they're doing them, they're having sex like crazy, you know, and you're like, God, knock knock. What about me? Like, what about me? I am presenting my body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto you, God, and I'm paying my tithes, you know, I'm in ministry, and I'm doing the things that I know that I should be doing, God, and when is my time going to come? A lot of times that's how we feel, because the people in the world who you see on TV are doing them, and they are getting paid, and they are doing what they love, and they're living lives that are not according to the will of God. So I just wanted to encourage you guys that hold on. Continue to present yourself as a living sacrifice unto God, and He's gonna bless you. I've learned how to trust God. Like, over these past 2 years, I've gone through so much, especially with Sandy and my previous job, and it's just God has always provided. And I now know that it doesn't matter what situation you're in, He's going to make a way. And it's not going to happen when you want it to happen. It's going to happen when He wants it to happen. Because I felt like He really gave up on me. And I felt like I was just waiting in limbo. Like, hello, Jesus. But, I just want to encourage you guys so much. I'm telling you. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to bring on my little sis, Diamond. Say hello.
Hi.
You guys haven't seen her since I did the natural hair, the sister tag. You guys haven't seen her since I did a sister tag, so I'm going to bring her in. She has her own personal testimony. You are how old?
18.
She's 18 years old, about to start college, and yeah, tell them what it is.
Okay, so, like I said, I'm 18, and I've been trying to find a job since I was old enough to work. Like, literally, once I turned 16, I've been applying everywhere. And I want to make this short. I don't want to babble.
Don't babble. It's okay. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm 18, and I only have one job in my life. I only got that job because a friend helped me get it. I didn't get it on my own just by applying. So I quit that because I didn't like it. And ever since, I've been trying so hard to get a job. And basically, in a nutshell, in the past 6 months, I've probably gone on 10 different interviews, and I'm not even exaggerating, like literally 10 different interviews. And every time I get called for a second interview, and they'll be like, okay, well, we'll be in contact if we choose you, and nobody ever contacts me back. And like, it's times when like I call the stores back and no one picks up the phone, or I just get the runaround. So probably 3 weeks ago, I went on an interview for Foot Locker, and I was really excited because that's like my favorite store. I live in there, and ever since I've been old enough to work, I've been applying there non-stop. Like, I literally send an application to Foot Locker every single day because there's no limit on their website. So I went and I did the interview, and I really honestly didn't feel like it was a good interview because he interviewed me in the middle of the store, and it's Foot Locker, so mind you, there's rap music blaring. He's barely paying attention. He's talking to other people while in the middle of my interview. And I just felt like he was really distracted, and I didn't get to show him me, like, so...
To sell yourself.
Yeah, I felt like it really wasn't a good interview. So then I asked him, I was like, so what's the next step, blah, blah, blah. And he said, I'll be making calls on Friday. The interview was on a Wednesday. So Friday comes, and he didn't call me. So the next week, I was calling the store non-stop, because Naisha was like, you have to call them, you have to let them know you want it. So I was calling the store non-stop. And I called, probably on my call log, it said Foot Locker like 10 times for one day. And they would either not answer the phone, or they would tell me the guy is not there. So this morning, this is like 3 weeks later, I'm getting ready to go to another store to fill something out, because he asked me to come fill something out. And it's not even a place I want to work. It's Mrs. Fields, like with the cookies and stuff. I feel like I'm better than that. Like, I want to do retail. I want to do sneakers. I don't want to work with cookies, but I was going to do it anyway just because money is money. So I was going to go, and I'm getting dressed, about to put my socks on, and I see Foot Locker calling my phone. So I'm like, oh my God. And I answered, and basically the lady told me, are you still interested? And I'm like, of course I'm interested. And this is like 3 weeks later, and I thought they forgot about me and probably threw my application away. And she was like, you know, come in on Monday for orientation. You can start. We'll give you your shirt and everything. So I'm just really happy, and all my hard work is paid off.
And also...
Prayer,
exactly. But do tell them, like, how you felt emotionally in the process.
I felt during the process, or after
spiritually, like, and everything.
During the process, I was drained. Like, I was feeling like, why am I bothering to pray? Why do I go to church all the time? Because nothing is happening. All my friends don't go to church. None of them do, honestly. None of my friends pray, and they all have jobs. Like, literally, I'm the only person I know that didn't have a job, and I'm like, oh my God, like, why not? Like, I deserve a job more than anyone else. Like,
and those jobs were jobs that you didn't really want.
Yes.
But God gave you the job that you really desired.
Yes.
Exactly. And isn't that what I told you? Like, he's seriously, like, we think that he forgets about us, but I've learned that through this process, he's literally preparing you for what he's about to give you, so that you'll be able to receive it.
Yeah.
You're
and
excited?
She always gave me those pep talks. Like, after my interviews, I'd be like, they didn't call me. And she's like, God is waiting to give you what you want. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I want a job. I did not want to hear that. Like, I'm not that, well, I guess I should be now because I know it's true now. But, like, if I'm really upset, I don't want to hear, oh, just wait. God's going to do it. Just wait on his timing. Like, at the time, I did not want to hear that at all. But I have a job now at my favorite store in the whole world, so.
Amen.